So I thought maybe we would start with some feedback for both teams from the group, just to give you kind of a little bit of information. Once everybody has kind of completed giving feedback, then we might ask some questions as we have, just to kind of remind everybody how the question piece goes, and then we will announce the winner and then go directly into the board session. Okay? So, you know, I took a few notes, and I will say that we felt as a group that the presentations were probably the closest that they have ever been.
I mean, I just want to thank all of you for your ideas, your input, your energy. We, like a lot of things in life, you know, sometimes you get out of things more than you put into it. And we just really benefited from working with you guys this week and also having your presentations. You did an excellent job, and you inspired us, and I think everybody from our side that was involved was really excited about that. You were all very talented, and it gives us, you know, a lot of optimism for the future, and I hope that you would all consider healthcare as one possible career choice. I would love to have any of you in my organization anytime. I think that, you know, the project was to develop a useful app, or actually a useful resource, and we never really envisioned an app, and we really liked the idea of an app. We had our technology people there because we heard that it might be apps that you were going to present, and we can't do anything in our field without the technology people being there and supporting it. And I think we'll actually have an app someday. And when we do, I'm going to invite both of you guys to come back for the ribbon cutting and celebration, because it was a great idea. And I believe even seniors or even people that don't know how to use a mouse, you know, could benefit from this in some way through a kiosk, through somebody else helping them and their family. So what we really liked about presentation one, and Ben, that was your team, is that we could see more of the actual product, more of the app, more of the resource. It looked like it was developed further, that we could actually see it, we could interact with it. It looked like you could click on something and see it. We learned how many miles away, you know, Beef or Roo was, and what the average price of a meal is at, you know, this restaurant, or the hotel prices. And you actually did a lot with the external environment. You talked to local businesses, and you found out if they're willing to give us a discount. You had the idea of the discount card, which is something that we thought we could put in place actually next week. So that's a very quick application, and I think that's the part about your presentation. While it was not as dramatic, it was a little more business-oriented, professional. Your product actually is the thing that we could see the most of, and it's probably we could get there quicker, I think we thought. So.
It was really great to work with you. I think that you'll all go very far.
I was wowed by both. Totally wowed. I think they were excellent. Projects were just awesome. Just awesome.
I think just to recap, you know, I saw that you guys on Team 1, the guest card was a great idea, something that can obviously be implemented now. The skit was well done, not quite as dramatic and personable, but without seeing theirs first, my comments were all extremely positive when it came to the presentation. Ben, as always, exceptional speaking. You presented yourself very well. I think we all felt that way. As I told everyone how young you are, it does not come across. And I think that was good. You know, you simplified your whole version. And you talked about a kiosk or a touch screen kind of at the end of the presentation once questions were asked. Maybe we would have liked to have you address that demographic that might not use your product, and maybe understand a little bit more about the research. So I think some of that information is important before anybody invests dollars into an app that maybe needs to have some additional programming or kiosk or so forth. Any problems that have arisen with your team this week? Ashanti? No problems at all. That's usually not the case. So tell me a little bit about how you guys worked together.
This week we worked well together. We had our tasks and we all completed them. It was more laid back, but it was peaceful.
How has Ben as a leader?
It's different, but he's
So explain that to me.
Like I said, he's more laid back, and me personally, I'm more of a hands-on, go get it. But he got the job done. I think he did well.
Ma'am?
Dom's the raging bull, Ben's the lazy river. say it right again. Okay.
So you're saying he's lazy?
No, he's not lazy. It was so
Everyone
relaxed.
is
Like
lazy,
like
right?
they both got to where they needed to go, but at it was a different sort of way to get there.
I mean, I don't think I'm that like kick back and take it easy, but I feel like, I mean, it really was kind of a kumbaya week. You know, we just did the work. You know, I mean, I'm not the kind of person who's going to be riding on somebody like, did you get this done? You know, get this done. But I tried to work to figure out what our idea was, the point we needed to get to, and then I delegated the task.
If you have too many raging bulls in the office, nothing gets done. You know, so learn from each other, because both of you could probably take some advice. So there were issues before, and we ended up switching you guys. So what's been the
Yeah,
difference?
Shanti and I have never come into conflict. We've worked together well. You know, we had fun this week.
So when the rest of your team in the past had conflict with Ashanti, how was that dealt with?
I tried to stay kind of neutral, kind of to mediate between conflicting parties.
So you guys all feel Ben does well with that? Stays out of there?
Yeah.
Okay. Learn from that. You guys did not utilize the hospital on a regular basis, maybe as a resource, whereas your team did. So tell me how it went this week for you.
I think it went well. We didn't have any conflicts. We just took our ideas and put them together, and I thought it went well.
When it got to Thursday, then we basically kept challenging our own tasks to the point where, what are they going to say is wrong with it? How do we fix that? Whereas in other weeks, when the teams were different, Thursday was like, oh my God, we're not done. We're all going to be fired. But this week was more, we were well prepared.
We're able to collaborate all of our ideas, and like Mike said, we critiqued ourselves. We kind of, instead of just focusing on the project at hand, we took it a step further and thought, well, what would you think if you were looking at this project? How would you critique us, and we wanted to improve it that way.
Who was the weakest player on your team?
See, this is tough again, but I would have to say Ashley. Yesterday I asked her to make an agenda for the presentation, and it didn't come through.
Well, I mean, if I ask an employee to do something and they just decide not to do it and don't inform me as to their reasons, then I might be a little frustrated. Did you inform him that, hey, you know, I think we're good to go. We're not going to do another one. I've already done this.
Well, I assumed it was just add to the one that I had already completed,
Gotcha.
and which I did.
What was the content of the agenda going to be? Because I don't even remember like us saying that
It was
we're missing something.
it was for the outline of our presentation, which was completed, which we had already been.
Everybody else feel the same way? Ashley, weakest player on the team?
No.
So who was?
Due to time constraints, it was Mike. Not hard though. That's what I'll always say. Not hard.
What do you mean time constraints?
There's a lot going on. I don't think it took away from our meetings necessarily, and he added so much, but just, you know, actually physically being there adds a lot too.
So do you feel like you guys did most of the work? So did Mike get everything you asked him to do?
Yesterday I couldn't make the Harley thing, so before he had a meeting until 4:30 or so, and I said after that, can you look up some stuff for me? He got it done and sent it to me right away.
So why is he the weakest?
That's my opinion, just on physically being there. I like people being in the room with me. That's just
Mike, who's the weakest?
if we were to lose, then I would have to say Evan, just because of as far as who's really the leader. Like a lot of times he didn't assert himself as the leader, just like as far as our groups go. As far as delegating the work, he did delegate, but as far as when we're all talking, and if someone were to just walk in the room and say, who's leading this? Dominic.
What about you guys? Ben, who's the weakest on this team?
Well, as I said, it was a kumbaya week, but I know
It always is with you guys.
Right. But I mean, everyone did a great job, but I would have to say Ashanti for this week, because everyone did what they were assigned to do, but I just didn't feel like throughout the week that Ashanti was as present and always contributing as Naomi was.
Shanti, what do you say to that?
I don't have another person to point out as the weakest link, but I feel like I got my job done. I put in the idea of the discount card, and I followed through and made sure we got finished. And as far as calling places, I was calling everywhere I could during and after class. And as far as class constraints, it only occurred with our meeting with Bridget.
So if your team loses because of resources and businesses, then you're the one that should be fired. But I'd like to know, just in a nutshell, why is everybody putting their summer through this?
Why not?
It can't just be about a content.
If I start something, I want to finish it.
So what about you, Ben?
Well, it's definitely been stressful. It's been a big commitment. There's certainly some more fun things I would have liked to have been doing over the summer. But I definitely don't want to be a quitter. I don't want to be seen as a quitter, and I don't want to have to confront myself as being one who backs away from a challenge.
I know you have a lot going for you and a lot going on, and I think it's commendable that you're sticking with it. Because I think that you could easily walk away. It's been encouraging to see young people, and I want you guys to realize something that I've been telling people and talk to even some of the staff. This program is not just about awareness, but it's to demonstrate. Think about what you're doing. You guys are what we call the millennial generation, and you're actually getting to sit with executives throughout this community and demonstrate to them that you have a voice. It's neat to see that you guys are actually raising the bar for your age group and setting an example for those that are out there, and I think it's going to pay off for all of you very well.